I'm just going to start off with how I experienced high school for my freshman year, meeting different people, learning how to socialize because energy was good. Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, I'm Milan. As you all can see by today's title, I am going to be doing a advice video and just giving some tips to the freshmen that are going into high school. So I'm just going to be giving you all like tips and things that you all will need to know going into high school as a freshman. I'm just going to start off with how I experienced high school for my freshman year. My first year of high school was actually pretty good. I learned new things. I learned so many new things, and just with meeting different people, socializing, learning how to socialize because as you all know, I'm not very social. It was a challenge for me to like meet different people in school and things like that. I'm very proud of myself for achieving my goal because that was one of my goals for high school, socializing and making friends and things like that. I wouldn't necessarily say making friends because I knew like having the people that I was socializing with from middle school, so it was kind of like, oh hey, you know. So but yeah, I did meet new people, but I wouldn't necessarily call them my friends. I would call them like an associate, but they were really cool. The energy was good. I could say my first year of high school was really good. It really taught me a lot. I learned a lot of things. Also with like being on time with everything, always just staying focused. Like high school really taught me to really stay focused. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into today's topics that I will be talking to you all with today. First, I'm gonna start off with my freshman experience. As you guys already know, my first year of high school was good because I just told you all. I was a little nervous, but everything turned out to be really good for me. And I say this because I was more so nervous on like the work and the classes that I'll be taking and things like that. And I feel like it's like the same classes that I took last year, or the same classes that I took for 8th grade. It was kind of like the same thing for 9th grade, in my opinion, because the work wasn't so complicated. It wasn't so hard for me. The classes that I had for 9th grade, I wish I could I'm gonna list out all the classes that I took last year for 9th grade. But those classes that I took for 9th grade, they were actually like really cool classes to actually take, and they were different. I had like one class for 9th grade that it was just like a very challenging class for me. It was called Intermedia. It's like a class that you do like a lot of computer work, projects, graffitis, and fonts. It's like you playing with fonts and things like that, and just doing like a lot of graffiti projects and things like that. So yeah, that was like a challenging class for me. I honestly just didn't know how to like manage that class a little bit. I also had another class. It was called Earth Systems. I did not understand that class at all. It was just like, what the heck is going on in this class? Because the first year of that class, we didn't have a teacher. And then like the middle of the year, we had like math substitutes, long-term substitutes, and just random people coming in there, subbing for the class. And it was just like a lot going on. The last part of that year for that class, we actually got a real teacher. And it was cool ever since we got a teacher, but I just like didn't understand the class from the get-go, so it was like, what in the world? But I still passed the class. I'm super proud of myself for that. That's why I always tell people like, always try your best and never give up. You never know unless you try. So I tried and I tried and I tried. I tried to understand it. I tried to reread things and just, try to make myself like understand what was going on. Because there was no way in the world how I was going to let myself fail that class. My anxiety, like the middle of the year, it was like a little crazy because like the people, the energy, all of the different energies, and it was just like a lot. So my anxiety was like up there. So I got closer to the counselor throughout the year, and we were just talking and things like that, and I felt better that I had a bond with the counselor, because when I was in middle school, I had a real good bond with most of the counselors. I honestly felt comfortable, and yeah, that was just like another one of my goals that I wanted to achieve for high school, was to actually have bonds with teachers, counselors. That was achieved. I'm super proud of that. And now ever since then, with my anxiety in high school, I've been better ever since I have built bonds with the counselors and half of the teachers that I had. So yeah, that was just my high school experience. Now I'm gonna get into experiences with meeting new people and associating in friend groups and things like that. Okay, so this is my advice to you all out there that are not so social and just have a hard time like with talking to different people, meeting different people. So honestly, I feel like with meeting new people, going into high school or just going into a new school period, I feel like it's okay to meet different people, honestly. I also feel like don't make things very awkward. Like I said, if you're not so social and if you like don't really know how to, associate with people, just try to talk. Like try to make a conversation. It doesn't have to be nothing like particular. I understand the feeling of like, starting to talk to new people or starting to meet new people or make new friends. I know the feeling can be a little awkward and like scary or nerve-wracking, but honestly, it always works out in the end because once you start making conversation and things like that, you will know like if that person is like really into what you're talking about and is really into the things that you're into. So it all just kind of comes together. With meeting new people, it can be hard, but at the end of the day, you can't just be lonely all the time in school. I just feel like that's like kind of very depressing. Cause I was like that in middle school, my last year of middle school. I just didn't want to talk to anybody. I was just like left alone. As always, very unbothered. And I was just like so quiet. I didn't really want to talk to nobody. At the beginning, in the middle of middle school, I was so social, y'all. Like I was so very social. Yeah, at the end of the year, I just like, nah, I'm not really with this anymore. So, that being said, it's okay to meet different people, y'all, and it's okay to be alone. But like in school, I feel like you should at least have about 1 or 2 friends. And that right there really triggered my anxiety because I'm always by myself. With me, I just feel like I don't really like to bother anyone. I don't like bothering anybody. So honestly, like I said, meeting different people is not so bad as it seems, guys. So just try to socialize, get around, meet different people. Even if you find it awkward, I found it very awkward meeting new people in high school. But like I said, it all worked out. Think about it. Once you go into high school, there's a lot of people that are very antisocial, just like you. So I'm gonna tell you right now, you are not the only ones. You are not alone with this process. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is advice for a beginner freshman. Okay, so my advice to you, the first and second week of high school is going to be a little challenging because most high schools are very big and they have like a lot of classrooms and it's a lot of people. And it's like when you get your schedule and you're trying to find classes, it can be a little awkward because it's like you stopping, you looking, you stopping, you looking. That was me my first year of high school. It was just like so awkward. But as I actually went to the 9th grade orientation for like 2 weeks. It was only for 2 weeks, and I just decided to go for 2 weeks. So that whole 2 weeks, I just was getting familiar more and more with the school. So once school started, I actually knew where to go because it was like all of the classrooms that I was in for 9th grade orientation was some of the classes that I had for 9th grade. And I was like, okay, this class is here, this class is there. So, yeah, it's really good to go to the 9th grade orientations, y'all, just to get used to your school. And not only that, just to see what the experience is like. You have to have a lot of confidence in yourself. You have to be organized. You have to be prepared for everything. And not only be prepared for everything, you have to be on top of things with your work, your grades, and things like that. Because the teachers, they will not play with you, okay? If you don't have that work and they don't see that you turned in your work or anything like that, they are going to mark a 0 on your paperwork. Just be aware of the things that you need to do, and that's why it's good to have like a planner or maybe like a journal. You can like write whatever you need to do down. It's very, very, very important to keep up with all of your work in high school, y'all. Please have clear communication. Having clear communication is key, y'all. Y'all have to communicate with your teachers or even your counselors. You have to communicate because if you don't communicate with your teachers, especially, days can be hard. And I say this because you have to let them know, like, hey, like, you didn't grade my work. Because don't get me wrong, some teachers, they be forgetting to grade your paper. So it's always good to communicate and be on top of your grades because if you're not checking your grades, you have to let these teachers know, like, hey, I did this. Can you grade this? Like, you have to be on top of your own work. Like, you have to be on top of the things that you have done. You just have to be on top of everything. On top of your classes, work, grades, all of that. Like, and I'm not saying that all teachers is like this, but some are like that. And it can be very frustrating for us as students because we're literally sitting out here doing work for you, and then you're like barely even like grading work. So it's like, what are you doing? But that's why I said communication is key. Don't be scared to speak up, y'all. Y'all gotta let these teachers know what's going on. Never be afraid to speak up for yourself. That's like a thing that you should do all the time. Okay, another topic that I'm gonna talk about is how to stay organized. So honestly, what I would say with staying organized with all your school work and things like that, it's just best to have like multiple folders. Also having the folders labeled as whatever class or subject that you are taking. Now, if you have a class that just have like that you just get like a lot of work in, then it's really important for you to just get a binder and just have like everything sectioned off. Now, another thing with staying organized, y'all, I would say that whenever your teacher like hands you back graded work, I feel like there's no need to keep that. Throw that out. That's another thing. Like with me, like with some people, they like to save graded work, and I feel like that is a waste of time for you because it's like, why are you saving work that's graded? Just rip that up on to the next, because it's like, even if you save graded work, I feel like, what is there to see? Like, it's a grade, it's already graded, it's already in your grade book. Honestly, with me, I don't like saving my graded work. Sometimes I do, just in case, like, say if you have like another worksheet that looks similar to that and you need help, and it's like, you know, so that's why sometimes it's good to save. Sometimes they do come in handy with the other upcoming worksheets that you will have to do. If you know you do not need that graded paper, throw it out. Alright, y'all, so now I'm going to go ahead and talk about having social anxiety. Alright, y'all, so with having social anxiety, going into high school, it's a normal thing. Everybody have anxiety for one, and for two, it's ways to get out of that and control your anxiety. Some people control their anxiety in many different ways. I know I control mine by taking deep breaths, listening to some rain sounds, waterfall sounds. I'm going to also list the links down below in the description box so that y'all can save that, keep that with you, or add it to your playlist or whatever. Listen to rainfall sounds, or I even read. I even go outside in the sun, get some vitamin D, or I even drink some calm down tea, or I may even take a bath. I know exercising could be good for anxiety as well. Have water on you. There's many different ways that you can get your mind off of that. There's many different ways to keep your mind off of having anxiety. Also, journaling. I also journal for my anxiety. Like whatever I'm feeling or thinking about in my head, I would just always write it down, take deep breaths. And ever since like I started journaling for my anxiety has been great for me, honestly. Journaling does help, guys. So journal your feelings down, whatever it is that's making you feel anxious or anything. But yes, y'all, also, like I said, journaling is really good for anxiety because you can write down your feelings or whatever the thoughts that you're having negative in your mind. It's always good to write them down and just, yeah. Also, taking walks could be really good for anxiety. How to make friends in high school. Now, making friends in high school could be very difficult. A lot of people that are coming from middle school pretty much have their own friend groups and own friends they already had in middle school. So it's like they all traveling together for high school. But not only that, it's many people that are coming from middle school that don't really have as many friends as they had in middle school. Then it could be fun because you get to socialize with many different people, and there's other people like around in the school that will naturally just socialize or compliment you. As a freshman going into high school, you are not going to be alone. You will have friends by the end of that month. Trust me. High school is not that bad. I'm going into my sophomore year. As long as you have that positive mindset and be smart about your choices, you will be good in high school. Don't be a follower. Don't be following all your friends. If that friend group want to do this, you don't do that. If you know that's not good, don't do it. It is not worth it, y'all. Okay, guys, so that is all I wanted to say and just come on the camera and just give you all some advice for going into your freshman year of high school. Oh, one more thing, y'all. Before I end this video off, be yourself. dress however you want to dress, but make sure it's appropriate for school, of course. Be yourself. Don't be trying to dress like everybody else or try to steal anybody else's fashion. Have your own fashion, have your own style. Be yourself. A hater is going to be a hater. If you have a certain style and you want to pop out with your style, whatever, in the first week of high school, pop out with that style, okay? Don't let nobody tell you anything. You know that that's your style. You know you like to dress like that. Dress like that. So yeah, I am going to close out the video here. I really hope that you all got some advice from this video. Make sure that you all like, subscribe. Also, don't forget to share my videos with your family and your friends. Without further ado, I will see you all in my next video. If you guys have any questions or you would like to talk to me personally, be sure to contact my main page or my content page. I will list them down below in the description box. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my entertainment channel. Bye, guys.